Once upon a time, there was a very old miller who lived in a small village with his 3 young sons. They worked very hard every single day at the mill, but the family did not have much money at all. When the old miller finally passed away, he left a special gift for each of his 3 sons to keep. The eldest son was very happy because he received the large and useful mill to do his daily work. The second son was also happy because he got the strong donkey to help him carry the heavy sacks. But the youngest son was very sad and disappointed because he only received the small, strange cat.
What can I do with a cat? I will be hungry soon.
Suddenly, the little cat stood up on his back legs like a human and started to speak to the boy.
Do not be sad, Master. I can help you.
You can talk? Yes, I can, and I have a great plan. Just give me a bag and a pair of boots.
The young man decided to trust the strange cat, so he spent his very last gold coins on him. He went to the shop and bought a beautiful pair of shiny red leather boots for his little cat. The clever cat put on the red boots and looked very dashing, just like a brave little soldier. Puss went deep into the green forest and carefully put some fresh orange carrots inside his bag. Then he lay down on the soft green grass and pretended to be fast asleep to trick the animals. Soon, a foolish young rabbit came along and smelled the delicious carrots inside the open bag. The hungry rabbit jumped right inside the bag to eat, and Puss quickly caught him in a second. Puss took the rabbit he caught and walked all the way to the king's beautiful golden palace. The royal guards let him enter the gate because he looked so fancy in his shiny red boots. Puss walked into the throne room and bowed very low before the king to show his great respect.
Your Majesty, allow me to present here a gift from my master. Who is your master? My lord is known as the Marquis of Carabas.
The king was very pleased with the gift and thought the Marquis must be a very kind person. For many weeks, Puss went hunting and brought more delicious gifts to the king at the palace. Every single time, he told the king that the gifts were from the wealthy Marquis of Carabas. The king became very curious about this rich Marquis and wanted to meet him very much indeed. One sunny day, Puss heard some very important news while he was listening inside the palace. The king and his beautiful daughter were going for a carriage ride by the river that afternoon. Puss ran back to his master as fast as he could to tell him about his wonderful new plan.
Master, if you do as I say, your fortune is made.
Just go quickly and bathe in the river waters.
The young man did not understand the plan at all, but he trusted his cat and obeyed him. While the young man was swimming in the cool water, the king's golden carriage arrived nearby. Puss quickly took his master's old, torn clothes and hid them under a big gray rock nearby. Then Puss began to scream and wave his paws loudly to get the attention of the king. The king heard the familiar name Marquis of Carabas and ordered the carriage to stop at once. He looked out the window and saw the same cat who had brought him so many gifts before. "Guards, go quickly and save the Marquis," ordered the king to his soldiers immediately. The guards jumped into the water and pulled the young man out onto the grass very safely. Puss looked very sad and told the king a lie. Thieves came and stole his fine clothes. The king was very angry that thieves would do such a bad thing to a noble marquis. He ordered his servants to bring a very fine suit of clothes for the marquis to wear. The young man put on the royal blue and gold clothes, and he looked very handsome indeed. The princess saw him from the carriage window, and she fell in love with him instantly. The king smiled warmly and invited the young marquis to sit inside the golden royal carriage. The beautiful princess was very happy to sit next to the handsome young man on the soft seat. But the clever puss ran far ahead of the slow carriage to prepare the way for his dear master. He came to a beautiful wide green meadow where the summer sun was shining very brightly. Puss looked very serious and tried to look as scary and dangerous as a little cat could be.
Good people! The king is coming! Tell him this meadow belongs to the Marquis of Carabas!
Or I will show no mercy and chop you into mincemeat.
The simple mowers were very afraid of the strange talking cat in the shiny red leather boots. Very soon, the king's golden carriage arrived at the edge of the beautiful green meadow.
Whose meadow is this? It belongs to the Marquis of Carabas.
The king was truly amazed by the marquis's great wealth and looked at him with much respect. Puss ran further down the road and saw a large field of golden wheat ready for the harvest. He told the busy reapers in the field to say exactly the same thing to the king when he came.
Tell them that this wheat belongs to the Marquis of Carabas.
When the king asked the reapers, they answered loudly just as the clever cat had told them. "The noble Marquis of Carabas owns it all," they shouted with big smiles to please the king. The king thought the young marquis was very powerful to own so much rich and fertile land. Finally, Puss arrived at the heavy gate of a huge dark stone castle standing on a high hill. A very rich and scary ogre lived there, who was also known to be a very powerful magician. The ogre actually owned all the beautiful lands that the king and marquis had just passed by. Puss knew all about the ogre and his magic, but he was very brave and had a clever plan ready. He walked up to the giant door and bravely knocked on the heavy castle gate very loudly. The massive wooden door opened slowly with a loud, scary creak that echoed in the dark hall. Puss walked into the great hall and looked very small in the middle of the giant stone room. The ogre was sitting at a huge wooden table, eating a giant feast of meat all by himself.
What do you want, little cat?
I came to pay my respects.
I heard you are a great magician. Can you really change into a big animal?
Of course I can. Watch this.
Suddenly, the ogre turned into a huge, scary lion with big teeth right in front of Puss. Puss was so scared that he quickly jumped onto a high shelf to be safe from the angry lion. The ogre laughed loudly at the cat and turned back into his normal green self once again. "That was truly amazing," said Puss, coming down very carefully from the high, dusty shelf.
But can you turn into a tiny animal, like a mouse? I bet that is impossible for you.
Impossible? Nothing is impossible for me. Watch this.
He instantly turned into a little gray mouse, running quickly across the cold stone floor. Puss was too fast. He trapped the mouse under a heavy silver cup on the floor in a second.
Gotcha! Now you will be a mouse forever.
Just then, the king's golden carriage arrived at the main gate of the dark stone castle. Puss hid the cage behind a curtain and ran out to meet the king at the heavy castle door.
Welcome to the castle of the Marquis of Carabas.
They went inside the great hall and found a delicious feast ready for them on the long table. The king was so happy that he let the Marquis marry the princess that very same afternoon. Puss became a great lord and lived in luxury at the castle for the rest of his happy life. And so, the miller's son, the princess, and the clever Puss lived happily ever after together.